You're just gonna stand there. She does this when she's hungry. She comes and acts all lovey-dovey. And she is, the most sweet little kitten that you can imagine. Yes. But we all know it just means that she is so hungry and she wants some food to be put into her bowl. Right? There's a dog going by. Wow, I've never seen that big dog. Cool, eh? Yeah. So, it's Wednesday, day 3 of my getting ready for the college course week. It's going okay, very slowly. I really would have liked to have had August. That would have been nice to have got it all done in August. But now I'm going to be doing it as I go along, which is probably, just as good. A little more hands-on, I guess. But a few weeks ago, I went to my doctor's in London, which is over an hour's drive away. And they said, we want to see how you're doing. Let's get an MRI. So they said, take some blood work, and we're going to get an MRI with contrast. And so they said, to make it easier for you, we'll get you an MRI in Kitchener. And I said, oh, that's great. Then I won't have to drive back to London. Okay, good. So I came home, and then day before yesterday, I guess. Yeah, yesterday, in the mail. Maybe the day before. It's a mail came, a letter came saying that I had an MRI booked for November. And I saw the time and I thought, well, sometimes they do 24 hours a day MRIs, but let's just check it because 3:30 in the morning is an awful time to be getting up when you don't need to. So I double checked, and yes, my MRI was booked for 3:30 a.m. Okay, fine. She said, but I can put you on the cancellation list. So if there's a cancellation, we'll put you in there. Okay. Cancellations. Okay, Fridays and weekends, because evenings are not good, because I teach in the evenings as well as in the daytime. She said, okay. So all of a sudden today, I get a phone call. Can you come in? 4:15, 4:30. There's a cancellation. Okay, fine. So I zoom in there, and my husband drove me, which was fortunate. I get in there, I get downstairs. I've never been in this hospital, even though it's just the next city over. I've never been in the hospital there in Kitchener. And she's taking my information, and I say, oh, and it's with the contrast, right? She says, it's with the contrast? I said, yes. She said, well, they don't always, really need the contrast. I said, well, my doctor specifically asked for an MRI with contrast. And she says, well, we don't have a technician or there's no one here to key in the contrast for tonight. This is at 4:15 in the afternoon. Oh. Well, why was this done? He says, well, sometimes the technicians, they just, see these orders from the doctors, and often the doctors just check off the contrast and they don't really need them. And so the technicians just take it off. I said, oh yeah. So my doctor ordered the contrast and someone just took it off. So now this MRI is useless. He says, yeah. I said, yeah, okay. I'll go back to the old time then? Yeah. I said, good. Now tomorrow I'm going to phone and say to the lady, can you just make sure there's contrast in there when I get my MRI? Boy. These things are so hard to, get quickly. And they didn't put my contrast in. Wasn't really supposed to happen, I guess, but whatever. Okay, so I will keep puttering on. Probably anything I do at night isn't terribly productive, but I keep on working away at it. Into the night. I don't know if there's much on tonight because my husband's not watching, so there must not be much on. So I have the tennis on. Is it the U.S. Open? Yeah. Anyway, that's it for today. In the mornings, I get horribly depressed about things and I have a hard time getting started, but then by the afternoon, I just get rolling and incredibly productive. Yeah. I'll get there, I'll get there. I will not despair, I will get there. And I found out that, college, Conestoga College, the courses start on the 8th. So that's 4 days a week, 2 hours each. But Conestoga Link also starts on the 8th. So I will have 4 classes in the daytime. Actually 3 because Monday is Labor Day, not on. So 3 classes that week in the daytime and 2 evening classes. Tuesday and Thursday. Ah, well. Why I thought that didn't start until the next week, I don't know, because I had a flyer in my bag the whole time that was, shouting out at people. Link starts September the 8th. But I was so busy this summer that I just plain ignored it. And that's that. Okay. Let me get back to work. See you folks. Have a good one.